My name is Jim Myers. I served in the U.S. Navy. Very proud of it. I went in August 28th of 1963. Boot camp was in San Diego, and that was the summer they had the big spinal meningitis crisis. And after we graduated, we were actually quarantined there for a little while, so that was a lot of fun. Got out of boot camp in November, went home, and was at the Sweet House in Purdue University when a lady came running through and said the president had just been shot. And we all got up and went to the library and saw Walter Cronkite that day on television. And that cut my 2 weeks of leave short, because the next day I got a telegram, like a lot of folks did, directing us to get on the earliest conveyance of whatever we could get on to get to our next duty station. So the next day we went to Indianapolis, and I flew to Pensacola and started my first school there. And my first ship was the Independence, CVA 62. Picked it up in New York the last day I was there for Fleet Week, and got back to Norfolk and was there just a short time, and they sent me back to Pensacola again for 2 more schools. And so during my first tour, I was on 3 ships, 2 aircraft carriers and an icebreaker. First ship was the Independence, and then they put me on an icebreaker, AGB-4, the Glacier. And I did a tour to the Antarctic on her. Was an aviation photographer, got to do a lot of flying. On each of the 3 ships I had flight skins. We had 2 old Sikorskys on the icebreaker. I flew in both of those. That's how we got to the South Pole, and nearly crashed and had to use the poopy suit in one of them. Then I got in the car business. They said, before I got out, they said, if you'll give us 6 more years, we'll give you a chance to take the test to go to OCS. I said, that sounds real good. What kind of score do you have to do that? And they said, a pretty doggone good one. I said, what happens if you don't get that score? He said, well, you still got 6 years in the Navy. I wanted to see what the other side of the hill looked like, so I got out and I came home here where my parents were. Dad was a pilot flying for Lockheed at the time. I lived with them just to get started. The last 4 years, I got back into the reserves just to get some order back in my life. And from the reserves, working as a photographer out here at the Naval Air Station in Atlanta, the chief recruiter got a hold of me and said, I want to talk to you. And he said, how would you like to come back in and finish your 20 years? Thought about it. I was newly married, and you know, that offer of 30 days a year paid vacation, whether you like it or not, and all the medical you can use for the rest of your life was pretty good. So that was one of the better decisions I made in my life, was to come back. My goal now is, while I still can, is to find somebody that can go with me, spend the time in the car, and go back across the country with my cameras with no time schedule, no particular itinerary. Just drive, whatever's interesting, sounds good. Hit the state parks, Grand Canyon, that sort of thing.